Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. First tonight, health authorities have confirmed a possible blood clot case in Tasmania linked to the AstraZeneca vaccine. For more on the development, we're joined now by Sean McComish. Hello, Sean. Now, what do we know about the case to date?
Well, good evening, Kim. The man is aged in his 70s and is in a stable condition. Health authorities won't say which hospital he's in or what part of the state he's from. What we do know is that he developed a blood clot a week after receiving his first AstraZeneca jab. Now, health authorities are adamant that this case won't affect the overall vaccine rollout. 84,000 COVID vaccines have been administered in Tasmania, but one of them has caught the eye of health authorities.
Tasmania has recorded its first case of thrombosis with thrombocytopenia, or what I'll call TTS.
A man aged in his 70s is now being treated for the rare blood clot. He remains in hospital tonight in a stable condition. The man reported symptoms a week after receiving the AstraZeneca jab. The case has been confirmed by the Therapeutic Goods Administration.
It's a newly described condition, so the world is learning about this as we go. The treatment itself is fairly straightforward though.
AstraZeneca makes up roughly half of vaccines delivered in the state so far. Common side effects for all vaccines can include fever or sore muscles. Tasmanians are being told to seek help if they develop more serious symptoms.
And the most important message is that if you do receive the AstraZeneca vaccine, that you are alert to these potential for symptoms and to not ignore them and to seek treatment straight away.
11 blood clots have been recorded nationally out of 1.4 million doses. Other adverse reactions are also being closely monitored.
For every 1,000 doses of either the Pfizer or the AstraZeneca vaccine administered, we receive between 6 and 7 on average adverse event reports.
Authorities aren't expecting the case to impact the overall rollout. Those who have received their first dose should still receive their second. In a statement, AstraZeneca said safety remained its highest priority and that evidence still backed the vaccine. Public Health urging Tasmanians not to be scared.
The complication of TTS associated with AstraZeneca over the age of 50 is far outweighed by the benefit of receiving the vaccine to prevent against a person having a severe outcome from COVID.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
An investigation is underway into a serious incident at Risdon Prison. 2 cell fires were lit within the complex last night, with the perpetrators set to face disciplinary action and potential police charges.
Police swarming on Risdon Prison inside a serious incident unfolding.
And it was serious enough that the police, ambulance and firefighters were involved and that 30 correctional officers needed to be recalled to duty to deal with the incident.
2 fires lit within cells in the medium security section at around 7:30 last night.
It was addressed very swiftly and quickly by the Tasmanian Prison Service. They should be congratulated for the work that they do and to respond so quickly.
No one was physically injured. It's unclear how many inmates were involved in the riot, but some were seen being led from the building in handcuffs. Several have been relocated within the prison due to the damage.
The incident is now under investigation. In a statement, the Acting Director of Prisons says the matter will be examined internally and the perpetrators will face disciplinary action.
The government and can talk about deterrence and that these people will be punished, but that is not a deterrent and it doesn't resolve the reason why people commit offences.
The Corrections Minister says those involved face potential charges. But the prisoner's legal service says the government isn't doing enough to improve conditions within the prison.
Which is inhumane, overcrowded, and where lockdowns are an ordinary course of a week. I've acted for prisoners who've lit fires in the past. It's generally making a point.
I think the conditions in the prison are well documented. We've seen a tough on crime stance, which has seen an increase in prisoner numbers, which has put some incredible pressure on staff.
Meg Sides, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania Police's new gun crime squad is already seeing results. Authorities say 17 illegal firearms have been seized over the past week, along with weapons such as tasers and a grenade.
Task force will continue into the long term. We have no plans yet to change what we're doing. We're doing it well, and we're still encouraging people to come forward with that information about people with illegal guns.
Charges have been laid for 5 of the 11 gun-related incidents in the north recently. A forensic expert who examined accused murderer Jack Sadler's home after the death of Jake Anderson Bretner has described the smell of bleach and cleaning products as so strong it made his eyes water. Day 3 of Mr Sadler's trial also heard text messages from the accused to an acquaintance where Mr Sadler referred to cutting Mr Anderson Bretner's toes off and calling him spineless. The jury also heard a conversation between Mr Sadler and former lawyer Adrian Hall, where Mr Sadler asked where would be a good place to dispose of a body, to which the pair referred to mine shafts at Rossarden. Witnesses who had black garbage bags dumped in their wheelie bins, allegedly containing body parts, also testified. A coronial inquest has found a man died because of poor medical treatment received at the Launceston General Hospital. Coroner Simon Cooper wrote in his report, Graham Davis should have been prescribed antibiotics for sepsis he developed following surgery at the LGH. The report also says the condition should have been obvious to his treating team and his death was avoidable. Rebecca White is attempting to hold on to the Labor leadership despite delivering the party its second election loss. Facing the cameras for the first time since conceding defeat, Ms White insists she has unfinished business.
Smiling through her second election loss. If Rebecca White is devastated, she certainly isn't showing it.
No, I'm actually feeling really well.
Facing the cameras for the first time since Saturday's crushing defeat, the Labor leader answered the burning question.
I've indicated today that I would very much like to stay on as Labor leader, but also respect that we don't yet know the full makeup of the Parliament or our caucus.
Today, Ms White acknowledged the factional feud which cost Labor so dearly.
We need to work to make sure that we address the problems that we saw, particularly at the start of the campaign, because we need to get on and fix those things.
But maintaining an early election, as well as a short one, didn't give the party enough time to cut through.
And had we had longer, and if we'd been able to focus on those key issues sooner, I do believe the results might have been a little different.
She now faces an anxious wait to see if she still has party support. Then comes the challenge of winning back voters.
The critical issue for Labor in rebuilding is what do they do to get back a base that's basically deserted them.
The Liberal Party hasn't exactly run a victory lap. Fake identity allegations against candidate Adam Brooks have overshadowed the win. Allegations he has denied.
Allegations have been made, allegations have been denied. It is seriously a concern, of course, to me and the Premier and others.
I understand information has been provided to Tasmania Police for them to have an assessment, and look, I'm obviously not going to comment on such a matter.
Meanwhile, remaining postal votes are expected to be counted by Tuesday. One interesting figure to note, more than 30,000 people cast their ballot away from home. Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
After a sellout first day, Quercus Park has hosted 10,000 more people as Agfest continued. Both patrons and organisers were happy to have the event running again after last year's edition was online only.
Alongside the latest farming gear at Agfest lay some of the oldest.
I've got a pump that was made in America. It was patented in 1912. It's made by the Gould's company. It's called the Gould's Pyramid.
The field day's also a chance for organisations to speak directly to customers. Environmental groups talking about regenerative farming and climate action.
All of the solutions to climate change are advantageous to farmers in one way or another. So that's carbon in the soil, carbon in the trees, hosting renewables like wind farms, solar farms.
Main Road Quercus Park bustling once again after a year off. Punters were revved up for their chance to get back in the field.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's great to have it back, all right, and step forward. Hopefully we'll be here next year.
Looking at everything.
Yeah,
as
plants.
We go. Yeah.
Love the plants.
Yeah,
the ponds.
Got to find the caravans yet.
From 8 o'clock they've been rolling in and they're still rolling out at 5, so it's been great. They've been in here all day.
Agfest is a crucial sales event for many of the 500 exhibitors here. 10,000 people in their wallets per day are coming through those front gates, ready to spend.
Bought a whip, beanie, hat and some socks.
I think I bought a tractor.
You think you bought a tractor?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to look at another price now.
Well, when wifey's not around, I might get something for myself.
Need another welder. I've only got 3.
Agfest is a really important event for us because we've got a lot of clients who work out what they want to do with their boat, and it might be later on that they actually then come back.
I know plenty of sites have sold lots of products. A couple of ag dealers have sold 25% of their stock already, and that was on the first day, and that's great.
Agfest continues until Saturday, with both days already sold out. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian umpiring veteran will mark a remarkable feat this weekend when he controls his 700th senior game. Gary Kane will officiate the monumental milestone alongside his son, but not one to steal the spotlight. He says the NTFA clash is just another game.
These newspaper clippings give a glimpse into Gary Kane's rich resume for perhaps football's most thankless job. 10 NTFA Grand Finals, 3 State League Grand Finals, multiple rep games, but this weekend will sit amongst the umpires' most special.
To me, it's another game. There's 2 teams playing. I've still got a job to do.
The veteran will officiate his 700th senior match, the local clash between South Launceston and Deloraine. Remarkably, a game that mirrors the way his career began.
Same 2 teams, effectively, at the same venue.
Drawn to the whistle as a teenager, he quickly rose through the ranks, cutting his teeth in the fierce era of 80s football.
Can't do that. That is unbelievable.
I think that's what footy needs and that's why people came to the football.
A reportable offence, absolutely.
He controlled the famous 1991 State of Origin match between Tasmania and Victoria, yet umpiring an NTFA Grand Final alongside his son Nick takes pride of place in the career highlights.
Yeah, I think that's part of his success, is the relationships he's been able to build with individuals and clubs.
For nearly 4 decades, crowds have called the 59-year-old every name under the sun.
When you're on the ground, we don't actually take too much of the content in.
Though on Saturday, he'll be known as a 700 gamer. Garth Burley, 7 Tasmania News.
The iconic Festival of Voices has added another round of talent to its lineup, with final preparations for the event underway. Tasmanian choral group Deep South warmed up the vocal cords this morning, offering a sneak peek of what next month's festival has to offer.
We are looking at 55 events, 22 workshops and upwards of 70 free events.
This year's event will feature an all-Australian cast with several performances reimagined due to COVID restrictions. The festival kicks off on June 30.
Turning to the State League, Clarence concedes this weekend's battle against competition frontrunner Launceston will be a major challenge. The Roos coach says his side has taken confidence from a win over the Tigers, but is yet to put together a complete performance. The Blues, on the other hand, are tracking so well, Premiership winner Mitch Thorpe can't find a spot in the unbeaten team.
I'd love to play, but first and foremost, my job is to coach and pick the most balanced side possible.
We know we've got our work cut out, but I think it's exciting for our group. We've played some okay footy at the start of the year, so it's going to be really good to see where we're at this weekend.
Jake Hines will return from suspension for the clash at Blunston Arena. Cavaliers say they've learnt a lot from a defeat to the reigning Tasmanian netball premiers, the Northern Hawks. Players say they've shrugged off the loss and focusing on being more confident in this weekend's matches against Corana and Cripps.
Obviously it was very disappointing. It's a big rivalry and we always want to win, but it was a great learning opportunity for us, and we try not to be too hard on ourselves.
Cavs defender Beck Highland is also celebrating selection in the state squad for the National Championships.
Good evening. Campania, Grove, Cressy and Hobart, all 19 on top of the table today. Launceston, Burnie and Devonport 17 degrees. Lake Leak the low with -1. Bushy Park and Flinders Island reached 18. Smithton, Strawn and King Island 17. Lowhead 16. St Helens 15. Lyre, Weenie 11. An extensive area of cloud over the north and east today, extended over the central plateau as well as the day progressed. Swells of cloud over waters east of New South Wales and along the coast there. A cold front produced cloud over South Australia and Western Victoria. Tomorrow a high remains over the mainland, but the ridge over us weakens. A trough moves just to our west ahead of the next cold front. 15 to 25 knot nor'easterly winds early and up to 30 knots over southern waters. They will tend nor'westerly during the afternoon. Strong wind warning has been issued for waters between Tasman Island and South East Cape. Hobart ending the working week with a partly cloudy 21. Early fog for Huonville reaching 21 later, 21 also for Campania. Launceston 20 degrees with a little bit of drizzle moving in, drizzle easing from Devonport, and 18 also for Georgetown. Burnie 18 with drizzle easing, a late shower for Strawn, 20 the high and 18 for Wynyard. St Helens tomorrow, a top of 19. Patch of drizzle or two, late drizzle for Swansea, 19 the high for Port Arthur. On Saturday, showers over the west and developing over the north, winds shifting west-southwesterly. Mainly fine on Sunday, apart from showers over the west and north again. And on Monday, showers statewide, falling as snow above 800 metres, fresh to strong, gusty winds. Fine for Perth tomorrow, along with Adelaide and Melbourne. They're all expecting 22. Showers for Canberra and Sydney. Partly cloudy and 26 for Brisbane. Darwin the pick with a sunny 33. Partly cloudy in Hobart at the moment, 16 degrees though, 14 in Launceston, cloudy in Devonport and 15 degrees. Agfest of course continues tomorrow. Everything from chooks to cars and cows, nuts and bolts, pipes, fences, food and finance, even some tips on superannuation. But of course, Kim, all eyes will be on the sheepdog trials. You've been privy to a lot of the evidence in that trial. Which way do you think the jury's leaning?
Not guilty. Thank you very much, Merv.